Has anybody here used BTC Pay before? Raise a hand. Quite a few. Yes. Okay, awesome. So there are so many use cases. We're going to go over just a few. We're going to have a focus on human rights and what we can do for activists while we're here. Rockstar is going to handle our slides, and we hope we can help you out. So peer-to-peer fundraising. For us, I think at least what attracts me to this project is it's approachable. I think BTC Pay is one of the most interesting projects because I don't feel judged. I feel like I can trust my peers. They're super transparent. And we hope that fundraising models will take this sort of like pivot where you don't have to wonder if your money is going to a nonprofit. You can see it. All the transactions should be able to be viewed. And we hope we can show you a couple that we've done as well. So slide. So why is Bitcoin relevant for human rights? I loved your question earlier. I'm sure you could be telling us why Bitcoin is relevant for human rights. We don't even need to tell you. But there's so many amazing projects. Rockstar looks like he's about to say something, so I'm going to give him a second.
No, I'm just enjoying the presentation so far, being the clicker.
He's the clicker. But I think it comes down to the core principles, maybe from the white paper around privacy, freedom, security, and giving people options outside of traditional systems. So we hope that this will open up more doors in the future. But for now, Bitcoin's not perfect. We know it's not. We're doing the best we can. We think it's the freest form of money we have available. And we hope we can create opportunities for other people to transact with it.
Anyone that wants BTC Pay Server set up, this is why we're here. I mean, Gladstein got us here to talk with activists and make sure that you repeat the success of previous fundraisers that, I mean, we didn't always set up technology for other activists to accept donations, but yeah, we participated in a few, and Patricia will be talking about that in some future slides. I mean, on my end, I'm just sad, you know. You get Rockstar dev, he can't hack. You just need to talk and, you know, click slides. But
how good does he look in this blazer? Let's go. Okay. How to host your BTC Pay Server instance. That's what we were going to show you. Takes, about 5 minutes to kind of load up?
Well, we have several different models. The easiest model that we recommend and wanted to show here is a launcher with Luna node that we recommend most people use because it's just 5 minutes. And if there are activists in the crowd that want, you know, BTC Pay Server setup, I actually have 5 instances, 5 accounts ready to go. You know, I've doxed myself, so you don't need to dox yourself. So, you know, just find us after the talk and we can do it. The second model is using someone else's instance. So if you only want to do on-chain transactions, you can just use someone else's instance, and there are a number of third-party hosts that actually support that. There are some third-party hosts that will even, you know, custody Lightning for you. So if you want to receive Lightning payments, they can do that. Third model is the model where you would use standard cloud hosting providers. So, you know, Azure, GCP, AWS, all of that. Fourth is something like this. When you have a device like Hack Zero.
We'll open it up for you later. For those who are curious, what's in this little box?
And fifth,
little set of hardware.
Yeah, and fifth would be the hardest one, but it's basically when you assemble the hardware, but you have the most control over that one. So all the different models of how you can host your BTC Pay Server instance. And if you're curious about any specific method of deployment, we have great docs, we have great videos, and you can use those to get set up.
BTCPayServer.org.
Yes.
And we'll also, speaking of community and support, we really want this to work. This is not my livelihood. We do this because we really care. Like we think this should exist in the world. And there are people from tons of different time zones, not primarily US, I haven't found. Most people are actually elsewhere. So if you go to our chat.btcpayserver.org, and you ask any question, probably within 24 hours, someone will respond, most likely sooner. And we also welcome you to come join the community. If you want to contribute, it is open. Everybody's invited. It's a party. We do have the best parties. And And I think it's just awesome to have each other's back in this regard. I think that's what Bitcoin's all about, peer-to-peer. Yeah.
Yep.
You want to talk about businesses?
No. You got this
so Rockstar included this link. I do think it's important to highlight some businesses that are using BTC Pay Server right now and how effective it's been for them. So if you want to chat about a few that we were talking about earlier.
Well, if you go to this URL, directory.btcpayserver.org, you will find a number of businesses that are using BTC Pay Server to accept payments and, run a business. If you set up BTC Pay Server for your own business, you can get added to this directory. There is easy process so that you can benefit from additional customers and exposure.
Always free.
Yes, always free. Open source.
Open source, baby.
Yes.
So here's a couple of projects. This is a 4-year-old project here. BTC Pay is 4 years old. So more or less, Rockstar is giving me a little nod here.
I was trying to figure out, BTC Pay Server or this fundraising?
BTC Pay Server is 4 years old. And we've done, I'd say, 3 major projects that we've supported. But others have hopped in too and used it for their own human rights goals and activist campaigns. So if you want to talk about the first one, Rockstar.
Well, I do actually,
yes,
especially
I'm
now.
So glad.
No,
so
actually,
glad you do. Look
at Elizabeth there. She was the one that actually
Shout
got this
Elizabeth.
one started. Yeah, we're all hot on it. Look at Elizabeth. You
Come
remember
on up,
our
Elizabeth.
DMs?
I remember. We had a crazy thread going on at like 4 a.m. in the middle of the night, and then anyway, and different people across all the world, different time zones.
But that's what it's about, though, right? You make it work.
Yeah, we came together and we won. So that one was fantastic. And then follow-up after that one was...
People don't know why or what happened here.
What do you mean?
Why was this important to do?
Oh, I want you. Yeah.
We can keep it light.
Let's go. Elizabeth, come.
Elizabeth's getting into the drama. Let's do it.
Bitcoiners love drama. Very quickly, there is a taco-loving space cat who goes by the name of Hodlonaut on the internet. Folks may be familiar. Literally, welcome to Bitcoin world. He started something called the Lightning Torch that became this movement, meme across the community to send lightning payments around the world. It hit dozens upon dozens of countries. But lo and behold, he also made a statement on the internet where he believed that a particular individual, and expressed his opinion, is a fraud, which is shared by many other members of the community. In fact, this individual claims that they are Satoshi Nakamoto. Indeed. So, and we are all Satoshi except for this individual. So he made the statement on the internet, and then this individual, it was, an opinion, we're all free to express opinions, decided to sue Hodlonaut, and we as a community came together and did this incredible campaign. We are all Hodlonaut, used BTC Pay Server, had late night chats amongst various community members. Shout out to Rockstar, Bitcoin Meme Hub, who made this really cool meme. John Carvalho, folks know him, who put together all the merch. These are all Twitter avatars of the community members that participated in the Lightning Torch, and it became a movement to help out our friend, who I believe it's still in process, but ultimately can and should prevail against this highly frivolous
He's winning.
lawsuit against him.
He's winning, yeah. There we go.
A community hero.
This could be you, definitely. And then after that, what happened is we raised some funds for Tor project as well. Everyone knows about Tor. No, Elizabeth, you should stay. I'm actually thinking,
Yeah, come on.
But because this is how BTC Pay Server happens. This is what I love the most about BTC Pay Server, is that it's just this project that brings people together. And for me, it's really a case study of how to do really like free open source project and bring people together.
By the way, at the time, there was a great tweet thread by a community member, I think American Hodl, where it was like, there's an internet space cat who's getting sued by a fake Satoshi on the internet. And, I have to go and figure out what's going on. So many of us, those were fun times in the community.
No, I was just going into all the merge that John did. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We want to mention that or no?
Yeah, I mentioned John. I mean, there were I think it was shower curtains, and there was a whole movement of pillows. posters. There were artists that created Hodlonaut art, and it really became a community endeavor and movement, which is incredible.
And from there are more fundraising. So, Patricia, maybe you talk about this one because
maybe we bring Alex up. Is he here? If Alex is around, this is his tweet. Maybe you guys saw this. In fact, maybe you were here this morning and saw this awesome talk. There are massive protests in Nigeria against police brutality. SARS must end. Organizers like Feminist Coalition are crowdfunding for gas, masks, legal aid, etc., but their bank accounts are being frozen. Thankfully, you can donate Bitcoin via BTC Pay Server. So there's a link right there, and I think they spun it up pretty quickly and we're able to get resources pretty quickly. If Alex wants to talk on this, he's more than welcome to join. Or if anybody else who was involved is here, please come up. But it's things like this that make me feel really inspired by Bitcoiners and how creative we can be. The asset is wonderful, but it's things like this where in a matter of hours and days, you can really change your community. It doesn't take much. We will help you. Show up in the chat. We got you. I'm waiting for you to come. Okay? Okay. I'm going to hold you accountable. Okay. So, and then the next one, you want to talk about this one, Rockstar? Hong Kong Free Press?
No. Keep going.
Great. I'm just going to keep on talking. Hong Kong Free Press, if you don't know about them, they do amazing work. Says not-for-profit run by journalists, completely independent. So they use BTC Pay. It was actually pretty seamless. I did a donation through them. It actually felt a lot like donating to HRF because they also use BTC Pay Server. Within a matter of, a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, you can have sats sent over to them. Maybe it'll take some time, depending on if you do Lightning on chain, but it's just really beautiful to see this happen. And I feel so lucky that we can do this for people and they can do it for themselves. We're just there to support them if things break, which inevitably they will. So we can do the next slide. This is a current campaign that we have that actually Elizabeth gave a shout out to. My mom texted me. She's like, that woman just talked about, she just talked about Bitcoin Smiles, which I've been, yes. I feel like we're on the same page. So Bitcoin Smiles, if you don't know, outside of the government, there's very polarizing topics around human rights to talk about in El Salvador right now with Bitcoin, but we want to focus on the positive. Enrique just started showing up on our spaces. He's a dentist in El Zante. He's awesome. And he wanted to work with Bitcoin. He wanted to accept Bitcoin, and he wanted others to be able to do it in his community as well. So he shared with us that sometimes he'll walk hours to get to some of his patients who are older. And they might walk hours too, because they don't have the means to have a car or come get care. He was accepting chickens from people for a while to do dental care, or people just straight up didn't have money. It was really fascinating. The first person that he told us, I would love if he could be here to tell the story, but the first person who introduced him to accepting Bitcoin was, I believe, a construction worker. So very blue collar people were using Bitcoin, which I love. And so we raised, I think it's almost 844 Bitcoiners donated to this. So altogether, we're getting closer to 2 Bitcoin. So we're around 1.8 right now. And the goal for him is 50 elderly people in the community, including Adrian, which Bitcoin Magazine did a really great piece on, are getting dentures. This is some absolute life-changing care for them. They can finally chew food, which sounds so simple, but it's really amazing that Bitcoiners can test Lightning, and it feels meaningful. It feels like if Bitcoin went to zero tomorrow, I would still feel amazing knowing that Bitcoiners have great hearts and can make this happen. And you can too. Again, this could be you. Coming up, so I don't know if you want to talk about Lightning improvements, Rockstar, but we have some awesome things in BTC Pay Server coming up. Lightning improvements. I'm going to be working on a design guide for a merchant section, all open source, for designers, individuals, and businesses. Do you want to give a little teaser on anything, Rockstar?
Well, when it comes to Lightning improvements, I guess the main thing is that we will keep up with all the new releases that L&D is pushing out, and then there is Greenfield API that will expose all that functionality, but through BTC Pay Server API, and because we support all the different Lightning implementations, L&D, C Lightning, and so on, we will have a unified API through which you can interact with whatever the node is that's running beneath, like Lightning implementation. other than that, no. I already see people yawning, so I'll no, not boring
so
technical
calm.
stuff.
They're so calm.
No, we are coming to Q&A. So, but acknowledgements. First.
Acknowledgements. I want to give a shout out to DG Lab. They help support the project, but they also were able to send us some hardware for today. Luna Node also via Rockstar gave some extra steps recently too to be very private. Rockstar was saying we don't want to list phone numbers, no names. So he really went all out. If you're getting hooked up with a Luna Node today from BTC Pay, you're going to be very secure. No one will know your information.
No, I can't believe you're using that as an example of how much I support privacy. And here I am sitting with a mask. And,
Okay, so what we're saying is Bitcoin companies are awesome. And if you email them, they will actually email you back and support privacy. They are great. HRF, thank you for having us. Our foundation supporters and our community, you guys, who makes it great, makes these things fun.
Yeah.
Next slide. Now we're going to hack for the next little bit, and until we get told not to. We want you guys to get set up, so we're going to burn through this old MacBook Pro and get you guys started. No,
definitely, because Gladstein, there he is. He's just going back and forth. But the reason why we are all here...
Bring him in.
No, he needs to go.
Bring him in.
So many obligations. I see many Bitcoiners here, and I don't like that. Like, we always talk about, with each other about Bitcoin. Like, I want new people in the room.
Activists.
Activists. Yes, let's go.
That's what makes it better.
Don't let these obnoxious Bitcoiners, bore you with their talks, and stuff. It's like, let's make use of this technology, especially as this separation of money and state is coming up. So,
yes. Peer-to-peer. Let's have each other's backs.
Yes.
Okay. And I guess to wrap it up, do you want to do the next one? Let's talk.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any quick questions before we get into setting you up? Anybody real quick? We'll do about 5 minutes. Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. My name's Jeremy. One of the things I've done is I've set up a nonprofit based in Lebanon. It's like 6 or 7 years old now, and the country's going through a financial collapse. The banks are insolvent. This seems like a possible solution, but I really did not grasp, and maybe we're going to talk about that during the hack, like how it works from the organization side, and if in the community there's treasury management, how that all works for an organization to manage Bitcoin on their books.
This is exactly why we're here, because see, our man Alex has...
Shout out to Alex, who's been helping out all day, making it happen behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it up for Alex.
Alex has set up BTC Pay Server for...
He actually did it for HRF, so he knows us well.
So he has set up BTC Pay Server for HRF. So I assume it's exactly the same model, and that's why we're here. I mean, when it comes to treasury management, you have transaction history, you have invoices, exchange rates. So you would be able to, at the end of the year, export, and if you need to report, then you report.
Come talk to us in the chat.
Yes.
It's not over. Like, these 2 days, we'll get you started, but you're going to come into the chat. We're going to get you sorted out, okay? Anybody else? Quick questions? Guy. That voice, let's hear it.
I just wanted to say, in the context of BTC Pay Server, like, it's essentially, like, as somebody who's been using it for, I don't know, a year maybe, at this point, it's a way to interact with all of the different pieces of Bitcoin. Like, you're running your own payment processor. So rather than having to sign up with Square or Apple Pay, you set up your own Bitcoin, Square, and Apple Pay. So I can make a fundraiser or whatever on my website. I send invoices to sponsors to the podcast, and they pay me, and then I pay out to developers who build little things. I can create individual stores and stuff. So I have like a little vote thing where listeners to the show can upvote by donating like a penny or 50 cents or whatever to which one they want me to read on the show sooner. And in doing so, I have like my own little store, and I just track however much comes in, and then I use that to donate to BTC Pay Server to do stuff like I'm running my own environment. And even better is that I have both Lightning and like on-chain Bitcoin. So like I have you have hardware wallets, like actually the question earlier about Pegasus is what if they get access to your phone? Well, one of the cool things about it is that I'm able to connect BTC Pay Server to my hardware wallet, which isn't connected to anything, which isn't connected to the internet, and it can generate invoices for that device, even though that device is at home, stored in a safe, away from the internet and away from anything, and Pegasus can't touch it, but I can receive money on it because BTC Pay Server can generate an invoice for it, even though it's not touched by anything. So like, what's on Lightning or whatever is like, is a hot wallet. It's on your mobile phone and it might be subject to potential hacking or whatever. But as soon as it becomes an amount that's like really meaningful to me, I'm like, let's move it offline. Let's move it to my hardware wallet. And I can basically just manage all of that through BTC Pay. I use this thing utterly religiously. And I set it up on LunarNode. It took me like, I don't know.
We didn't pay him to say all
10
this.
or 15 minutes.
Although it sounds like it. Thank you. No,
They are sponsoring the podcast.
I mean, you should listen to it. I mean, if you don't know why he's using it, you should definitely listen to Guy. Bitcoin Audible is amazing.
Yeah.
Saved me a lot of time. I love reading, but I love listening too.
There we go.
Anybody else while we're here? Yes.
Have any real estate
Well,
title or escrow companies reached out to you yet about accepting Bitcoin for real estate?
Oh, are you aware of any?
Yes, it's called Real Estate.Crypto.
Okay.
Justin runs it. He's actually based here in Florida, and he'll take your Bitcoin and buy the property for you, and you'll have the title.
All right.
And I do have a
More you know. Okay, we got the last question. Yes, it's you.
for the people that might be looking to set this up, how much is this gonna set them back?
I'm glad you asked. Rockstar, do you want to share?
Yes, I mean, it depends on which of those 5 modes it is. So question again for maybe streaming audience is how much does a BTC Pay Server instance cost? And I would say the mode that we wanted to show with LunaNode is about $10 a month. I mean, if you want more powerful instance, then it's about $20 a month. So it's really not that much, not expensive, unless you get device like this and then you self-host it, then you're just paying electricity. So, but in both cases, really affordable.
Can I also just make a quick point that
Yes,
just bears
please do.
repeating that in most countries that are relevant for the Freedom Forum, receiving donations is a crime.
Yes.
And this box allows you to be moral and noble and pursue a different set of rules than dictators and what they want to enforce upon you. Receiving donations should not be a crime. And this allows you to live that life for your nonprofit or your movement or whatever. I just wanted to just underline that, like that
Great
if you
point.
live in Russia or China or any of these authoritarian regimes and you're a human rights organization, human rights advocacy is illegal and you cannot conduct it legally. So obviously we need extra legal ways to interact with people around the world. I just think that's so important to underline. But yeah, thank you guys for doing this.
Anyway, you guys have questions? You want to get started? We're going to be hacking. So you come find me in Rockstar next couple days and we'll take care of you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.